So, after the fun and festivities yesterday, we move on to the preview for Crystal Palace. Before I get into my preview for Crystal Palace, I'm going to do my halfway through the season ratings for each individual player in our squad. There's a few surprises in there, so bear with me. If you don't want to see the ratings of the players, you can fast forward and get into my preview for the game. First up, I am going with Petr Cech. I am giving Petr Cech 6 out of 10 this season so far. I think he's been a liability at times this season, and he is not the player we all expected he was going to be when we signed him for Chelsea. On to Ospina. Don't think he's really done a great deal wrong. Hasn't played many games. Played a few Europa League games, which I think he's done reasonably well in, so I'm going to give him a 6. On to Matt Macey. Matt Macey, I'm going to give a 6 as well. Only played the game against Norwich City, and I thought he was quite decent in that game. One thing I will say about him is he is fucking huge. That geezer is massive when you see him in real life. Proper commanding in the box as well. So hopefully he's got a bright future with his club. On to the right backs. I'm going to start with Debuchy. I'm going to give Debuchy 7 out of 10 so far this season. I think he's played really, really well in every single game he's played. And he hasn't let us down. Even chipped in with an assist. And we know that Arsenal fans love knocking one out over assists. So yeah, there you go. On to Hector fucking Bellerin, the Spanish Justin Hoyt. He gets 1 out of 10. He has been absolutely dog shit this season. Absolute liability. Every single game we play, he has been piss poor. In fact, you could actually make a case that he's getting worse every single game he plays. Now on to centre-backs. Rob Holding. Another one who's not really played many games this season. Think he's done well in some of the Europa League games, but then there's been other games where he's looked so fucking iffy. So I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. On to Koscielny. People say this guy's in the best 10 centre-backs at Arsenal, ever. What fucking planet do you live on? Cost the boss. My man can't even boss his missus in the sheets. 2 out of 10. Go fuck yourself. You have been absolutely pony all season. You have cost us umpteen times this season, like again against Liverpool the other night. Callum Chambers. I'm not Callum Chambers' biggest fan, but I do think that he's played really well in the games that I've seen him play this season. Therefore, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. Mustafi, wow. Is he a £35 million centre-back? No. What fucking planet are we on? We pay over the odds for shit and refuse to pay over the odds for quality. One Arsene Wenger. Mustafi will get a 7 for me though, because I think he has been the best of a bad fucking bunch this season. So that's why I've come up with a 7. Nacho Monreal. Again, another player who is playing out of position. He shouldn't be playing at centre-back, especially when we're playing 4 at the back. He looks fucking shit scared every time the ball comes near him. But when he has played in a 3 at the back, he has been probably one of our best players this season. So for that reason, I am going to give him a 7. Left back, left wing back, whatever the fuck we want to call it, Kolasinac. I'm going to give Kolasinac a 7. It weren't his fault he was benched at Anfield. It weren't his fault he was benched against West Ham. You know, why is he playing in the Carling Cup, League Cup, Carabao, fucking whatever the fuck, Mickey Mouse Cup, whatever you lot want to call it. Yeah, why is he playing in that? He was the best left back in Germany last season. Yet we decide, I know what, let's fucking bench him. Yeah, great idea. Anyway, let's move on to midfield. I'm going to start with Super Jackie Wilshere. I think he has been an absolute pleasure to watch this season in what so far has been an absolute dog shit season for our club. But he has been one of the shining lights. So for that reason, he is getting 8 out of 10 for me so far. On to Aaron Ramsey. Another player I don't rate as highly as others do. But I'm going to get slated for saying this. When we look back 30 years down the line, Aaron Ramsey will be known as an Arsenal legend. And do you know why? Because he scored 2, not 1, but 2 cup final winning goals. So, for that reason, he is an Arsenal legend, isn't he? Let's be real. But this season he has played quite well, and I'm pretty impressed with him this season. Not as good as he was a few seasons ago when he was banging in goals left, right and centre before he got injured. But again, in a midfield that's been overrun for most of the season, he has looked quite decent. 7 out of 10 for me. Now, on to Granit Xhaka. Deary fucking me. 1. Yes, you are getting 1 out of 10. The same as the Spanish Justin Hoyt. Both been absolute liabilities this season. I don't know how many goals it is that we've conceded direct from a Xhaka misplaced pass, but I know it's quite a lot, and I know it's cost us quite a lot of fucking goals this season. Yeah, and quite a lot of points. So fuck him. 1 out of 10. Maitland-Niles. Fantastic young player. Really, really hope this geezer does not get absolutely fucking ruined by the Messiah Arsene Wenger. Because to me, he's not a left back. He's a central midfielder. He's played out of his skin at left back in the Europa League. When I was out in Belarus and we played Barté, he was the best player on the pitch. He was a fucking joy to watch that night. Again, the other night, he was fucking brilliant against Liverpool, up against Salah. Yes, I know we conceded 3 goals, but for somebody so young to keep the guy so quiet, I thought he had a really good game. And I just hope it don't turn into another Oxlade-Chamberlain situation where he's a utility player, don't bed down his own position and gets played here, there and everywhere. But so far this season, I have been so impressed with him, and he's getting an 8 out of 10 for me as well. On to Mohamed Elneny. A player that most Arsenal fans couldn't give 2 flying fucks about, but I actually do. I think he's a really underrated footballer, and I think that we should be dropping Granit Xhaka and putting Elneny in his position. I think we'd be so much better defensively than we are now. I've seen milk turn quicker than fucking Granit Xhaka. With Elneny, he does exactly what it says on the tin. He gets the ball. Nothing fancy, nothing flash, none of this 50-yard shit passing. He just passes to Ozil or passes to Ramsey. Passes to a better technically gifted footballer than him. But there we go. On to Theo Walcott, Mr. 140 grand a week man. I'm nicking a fucking living from the club. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Purely based on the fact he hasn't played a fuckload of games this season. Really only played in the Europa League, and in the Europa League he has scored a few goals. Again, when I was in Belarus, I was sat right behind it when he scored them goals. So fair play to him, but the reason he's getting a 4 is because he hasn't done enough that's required to get him starting week in, week out. And to earn 140 grand a week out of our football club, that's a fucking disgrace, bruv. You are taking the wholesale piss. Anyway, fuck him. On to Reece Nelson, the shining light of the youth team, the fucking superstar of the youth team. This kid is destined for glory. And every game I've seen him play, he's played fucking right wing back. What is Wenger doing? He's a central attacking midfielder. But what do I know? I've never managed a game in my life. I don't get paid £10 million to make these shit decisions. But I'm going to give Reece a 6 out of 10. I really hope he gets a few team performances running the game. I can't even fucking speak. I hope he gets a few games over the Christmas period so we can actually see what he does in his actual position. Now, on to the fucking superstar, Mesut Ozil. We've got Ozil. That's what they all sing, innit? To be fair to the boy, he has been our best player so far this season. That's just my opinion. I know I don't really rate him as highly as everybody else, but he has turned up quite a few times this season. Whether it counts for anything at the end of the season, we'll not fucking know until then. But I'm not going to go in on him because he has done really well. His goal against Newcastle was fucking stunning. His goal the other day against Liverpool, where he scooped it into, he dug it into the ground. He's done that a couple of times this season. So yeah, he's my player of the season so far. On to Alexis Sanchez, my favourite. Yeah, Alexis Sanchez, you're getting a free, bruv. Yeah, and I feel bad saying that, but Alexis Sanchez is so not interested in Arsenal Football Club right now. You can see it every time he plays. Yes, he scored against Liverpool. Yes, he scored the odd goal here and there, but he can't be asked. He don't want to be here. He wants to go. It would not surprise me if we sell him in January. So, 3 out of 10 for him. On to Alex Iwobi, the Snapchat king. Spends more time chatting shit on Snapchat than he does playing football. But I'm not going to go in on him because I actually quite rate him as a footballer, and I think he's been piss poorly managed by Arsene Wenger since he's come through, really. Playing him against Bayern Munich, what the fuck was that all about? But in the games he's played this season, he's been up and down. He hasn't been consistent at all, and I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 for that. On to our £50 million man, Alexander Lacazette. I am going to give him an 8 out of 10. I think he's been pretty decent. His movement off the ball is unreal. Just a shame our dickhead midfielders can't find him, and they never seem to pass the ball forwards. They love to go fucking sideways. But he scored within 90 seconds of his Premier League debut. He's scored quite a few goals now, and he is a fucking top draw striker. But Arsene, you need to play to his strengths, bruv. On to Danny fucking I can't hit a barn door Welbeck. 4 out of 10. Absolutely nicking a fucking living. Unbelievably dog shit footballer. But it is what it is. I'm not picking the 1 to 11 every week because if I was, he wouldn't be fucking in it. But there we go. I'm giving Danny Welbeck 3 out of 10. For somebody who came from Man United, everyone's like, yeah, we got Danny Welbeck. Sorry, you're living off a goal at Old Trafford against United in the Cup, mate. You've done fuck all since. And last but no means least, Olivier Giroud. Don't know, I had to think long and hard about this one because Olivier Giroud scored over 100 goals for Arsenal. So when you look at that, you think, that's actually fucking good. That's actually really good. Then you look at the price tag, £12 million, you think, wow, that's actually a bargain. But then you realise he went 4 months without scoring a goal. And this season, he can't make a start. And when he does start, he's fucking shit. But he has saved us umpteen times over the years. But that don't count for fuck all for this season. It's a season review so far of how our players have done. And so far this season, I'm not going to be harsh on the geezer. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think he saved us a couple of times this season. He scored a goal against Belgrade away, which won us that game. So, yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Anyway, on to my preview of the Crystal Palace game. A game I'm going to. Can't wait. We got spanked there last season, 3-0. It can only get fucking better. But Crystal Palace, they changed manager. They're on the up. Zaha is on fire. They're doing really, really well at the minute. And it's not going to be an easy game. If everyone can remember rightly and zoom back or rewind, fast forward, what the fuck? Anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah, rewind backwards and remember, you're not fit to wear the shirt was sung at Hector Bellerin, even though it wasn't directly just aimed at Hector Bellerin, it was for the whole team. This was the game it happened in when they were spanking us 3-0 last season. So, I'm going there a little bit nervous. I think we're more than capable of beating them, but it just depends what Arsene Wenger does. Depends on what Crystal Palace want to do as well, because Zaha's a tricky motherfucker. They got Jason Punchin as well. He's a half-decent player. And defensively, they've shored up a lot recently. Roy Hodgson's got them playing half-decent football and they're not shipping fuckloads of goals. So, for me, this is my 1 to 11 for the game. I am going with Petr Cech in goal. Left wing back, shall we say, because I am going with a 3 at the back. I am going with Kolasinac. Maitland-Niles has been brilliant, but Kolasinac's number 1 for me. Right back, I'm going with Debuchy. Centre backs, I am going with Koscielny, Mustafi and Monreal. Koscielny's on his last chance with me, by the way, because he has been fucking shit. Midfield, the 2 in front of the 2 behind the striker. So the 2 in front of the defence. I am going with Mohamed Elneny. Like I said a minute ago, so underrated at this club. It's scandalous how our fans rate certain players that are shit and then underrate certain players that are decent. Don't get it. But there you go. Next to him, I am going with Jack Wilshere. I thought he was superb against Liverpool. The only one who was turning and driving forwards. And yeah, he gets a start for me. The 2 behind the striker, I am going with Mesut Ozil. Like I said, I think he's been our best player so far this season. Next to him, Alexis Sanchez. You are on your last chance as well, mate. Otherwise, you ain't getting in another one of my teams this season. And the main striker, obviously, the main man, the £50 million man, I am going with Alexander Lacazette up front. Now, like I said, I see this being quite a close game, although I do think we will win this. With Crystal Palace, I think they're going to sit deep and try and ping us on the break down the wings. So, with that being said, I think we need to pass the ball quickly, none of this sideways shit, get a lot of movement forward, and similar to when Barcelona go up against teams. Barcelona, when they get a team park the bus, their players are always moving, always making triangles, and always looking for the killer ball. Now, we need to do that. If we do that, I see us winning this game 3-1. If we don't, I see Crystal Palace winning this game 1-0. But I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go with Arsenal 3, Crystal Palace 1, and I'm going to go with Lacazette first goal. Don't forget, subscribe, like, share to my channel. Really appreciate all the love. Thanks very much for all the views this year so far. And don't forget, you can follow my Instagram, LeeGunner82, and my Twitter, LeeGunner82. Anyway, that's my rambling over and done with. I'm now going to a party. I'm out of here. Laters, peeps.